What you're about to see is a quick interview with Nathan. He is an engineer from Canada with Asian heritage, and I worked with him for 4 days, one-on-one intensive workshop on the streets of Budapest. And we overcame a lot of issues together. Mainly, he was overcoming approach anxiety. For many years, he wasn't able to approach, and he usually got stuck in relationships that he didn't really want. So I had a great time with him. He did a lot of approaches. He had a lot of breakthroughs. But without further ado, here is the interview with Nathan.
I would say for the longest time, it's like I just don't know how to properly connect with girls, because usually when I try to apply some of the techniques and theories by watching the natural lifestyle, it's kind of hit and miss, and like I didn't know what went wrong. I didn't know how to reduce the flaking rates, and I think that's when I finally realized that I really should come to someone more professionals like you to kind of guide me through the process and watch me in field.
Right. So let me jump into that real quick. So you were a software engineer. Now you helping other people become better software engineers. So how was your dating life before even discovering street approaching and then being able to talk to women on the street?
That was pretty much non-existent because, as you can imagine, especially in the software industry, it's pretty much male dominated, right? And so like even when you work in the office, most of the engineers are guys. So like it's pretty difficult as a engineers that you can find a colleague who's a female. That would be in different apartments and stuff like that. And I think it's because of this very logical work. Lots of the engineers, they are difficulties to connect and meet women.
Of course. I mean, we have that all the time. A lot of our clients, they're very smart. They're very in successful careers. The problem is just, as you said, it's mainly male dominant careers. And then just by the math of it, it's just hard to meet women. And then obviously, usually software engineers are more introverted type of guys. That's where they are good at what they're doing. And then it becomes extra hard. So how many years ago did you discover either the natural lifestyles or me or any other type of seduction, like street approach during the day? How long ago was that?
That was about 1.5 years ago. I accidentally came across this on my YouTube newsfeed. I think it was one of the videos. It was James doing like a video approach or something like that. And so I curiously clicked on that video, and I was like, holy crap, so we can also talk to people during daytime or walking down the street. So then I just kept on clicking more videos from the natural lifestyle. And I think after about 2 to 3 months, I decided to kind of give it a shot. But it didn't work for me the first few months, and then
so you did start approaching by yourself, right?
I did, and I have.
Wow, that's cool.
The first step was freaking difficult because like it's embarrassing to say, but for someone who have tried to do bungee jumping and paragliding, I didn't realize approaching girl in fields a lot more scarier the first time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was skydiving for the first time the other month, like in July or August, a couple of months ago. And obviously that's scary, right? You're going up with an airplane, you're in this tiny plane, there's those other guys, you see them jump out of the plane. So of course you're nervous. I don't know if you've ever done it, but then you jump, you fly, it's amazing. And I was like, approaching a really hot girl on the street is still scarier than jumping out of a plane. Which is insane, but it's how it is. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you tried, like, what was the problem that made you seek coaching?
um, basically it's like I thought I was doing everything correctly, but obviously my analysis was very subjective. It's not objective at all. And so being a mentor myself, mentoring other people to become developers, I realized that I need a mentor in this area. And so that's when I feel like, oh, I should apply for a mentor with natural lifestyle to give you more objective opinions, right?
Okay, so you wanted to get feedback on your game. Okay, so how was your experience then working with me? Did you get the feedback you were seeking, or what happened?
Yeah, I have to say that was amazing because I remember our first day, we had like a 2 hours meeting, kind of just you asking me about what kind of problems I was facing and what areas in specifically I needed to improve on. And then you kind of divide, like you didn't just say something like, oh, you are able to teach me everything. Like you pretty much, based on the problems that I was having, you refer me to different mentors like Shay and Luna, who are more specialized in like physical escalation. And then Shay is more about the mental aspect of things. And then you were more focusing on like in fields and stuff like that. And I have to say that by having different specialists in guiding me in different aspects of the problems, that I was able to have a shortcut, especially the feedbacks that you gave me in fields. Like I often made the mistakes of like not digging deep enough into like a topics. Like I tend to jump around the topics and stuff like that. And so like you kept telling me like, I just see like you're making some mistakes again. So like those are things that I wouldn't be able to really pick up by myself without a mentor, right? And Luna was so good at telling me really detailed things about the angles of how I could position myself against a woman, or if I'm speaking too loud, or I'm not having enough volumes and stuff. These are the things that would take me years to realize without a mentor. And so
that's good. Yeah. I was happy to bring in Roleplay Girls just for the guys watching. Luna, she's one of our female assistant coaches. So I bring them in to work with the client and the girl and myself in this trio to really work deep on certain things like conversation, touch, escalation, right? I remember we did specific escalation stuff with you. So that was cool. All right. So was there anything like specific that one of the coaches, me or Luna, said that really clicked or really helped you?
Yes. So for the infield, you specifically said that because in the past my approaches were indirect, and I also mentioned that when I try to ask her out, they tend to be very flaky. And you tell me it's because the way I approach girls, it was too indirect. So by changing just that part, be more direct, just show my intention directly to girls, I would say the flake rate dropped by 50%. So that is like big part.
That's
so
crazy.
I know. And then with the physical escalation with Luna, I remember that was the first lesson when I was using my shoulder all the time to forcefully pull the girls towards me. So I went on a date yesterday, and so I did the same practice that we did to the girl, and she was so
Yeah.
welcome, like, so that too changed the whole dynamics too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's great. So we had 4 days together. I'm also wondering what even made you go with working with me. If you've, kind of researched this industry for almost 2 years, what made you trust me with all that money?
I would say it's the packages and the reputation that you put out compared to other companies. Because when I look up some other companies like Broadcast, I think he was one of the big names, and there's also some Canadian ones. But it's like the Natural Lifestyle has a really good combination of like the video materials plus the in-field teachings. I think it's like, because you don't learn just by watching, and I think it's like you put a combination of like learning from watching, but at the same time I get to ask you a bunch of questions that I came across either through watching the materials or some of the problems I came across.
Yeah, I really like that about working with you specifically, that every morning you had 3 or 4 questions for me. That you just had from the last interaction.
Yeah, so I always say it's the combination of like theory and applied theory that makes you and the Natural Lifestyle stands out from the other competitors, because the other competitors, they either only sell books, video materials. They do not have a combination of both theories plus applied theory,
Yeah, and they're not even doing so much seduction themselves. They're more like,
don't
want to shit on anyone.
Yeah.
It takes some balls to actually put yourself out there, I guess.
Yeah. And one more thing I forgot to mention is that, because I ask you a question, I should be focusing on the night game portion of the game. And I remember you told me, don't worry about night games at all, just focusing on the day games, because the quality is better. Like that part is such a huge differences too, because I think especially for beginners who are so confused about, oh, should I be focusing on day games or night games? And I think the two games are very different breeds, and you need different techniques and stuff like that. So by just focusing one area, really, it's a big changer too.
Yeah, I'm always telling people, focus on the thing that you like doing, and if you don't feel comfortable in clubs at all, then why try to be a seducer there? It's like, sure, become comfortable in a club if somebody wants to go out with you, or it's one day you have a girlfriend or there's a party. Like, don't be obviously anxious in clubs. Get to a level where you feel comfortable. But as your main source of women, as your funnel opening, so to say, yeah, day game just works better for me, works better for you, and then why not go with that full on? That's true. Okay, cool. So we did the training. How is your life now? I mean, was it like 3 weeks since we finished? Do you see any differences in your life now in terms of reality or even just mindset? Like, can you tell me a little bit about your last 3 weeks since we said goodbye?
So for the last 3 weeks, I would say I am approaching less. One reason is because I started working again, so I don't have as much time doing like day games and stuff. But having said that, the approaches has been pretty good results. The reason I'm saying that is because the flaking rate has been a lot lower than before. So these past 3 weeks, I would say I've come on about 5 dates.
Wow, in 2 weeks?
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, and so
That is a lot.
Yeah, so I always say the flaking rate is
That's basically that's in 2 weeks. What you said 5?
around 5 months.
So that would be 130 dates a year, if my math is correct.
Yeah, if I keep it up with this number.
On average. While working, pretty cool. All right, so a lot of dates. What else? Is there anything else that shifted for you?
The other thing really is just that having the ability to be able to choose, because like at the end of the day, it's not just that you want to meet beautiful girls. You really have to see if the girl clicks with you, like mentally. Because like I think a lot, like what happens to me before is that I would just think like, oh, if I can have this beautiful girl in my life, there's whatever. But now it's more like, okay, she's beautiful, but like, did we click? You know. So I think that's another big much.
So your standards clearly went up, and you're not as needy anymore, and you actually challenge a girl and have your own kind of base layer of would you even go on a date with, or who will you?
Yeah, right.
Powerful.
And I think just that shifts made a lot more girls who would actually talk to me proactively.
Yeah, that's cool. Amazing. All right. I mean, I also make the experience because you're saying you how long did you watch our stuff for before you actually booked the call?
For almost like 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Yeah, that's unfortunately not rare, right? A lot of people watch us for 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, like 2 years, before they even book a call. You know, the free discovery call where we just chat. What would you tell people on the edge who are aware of my stuff, who consider coaching, who are maybe in a similar situation, like, you know, analytical type of job, not getting a lot of dates?
Well, pretty much it's like, guys, like I understand that you probably think watching the video and try to do everything by yourself might work. But the hard truth is that yes, it's going to work, but it's gonna take years before it works. It's much better. Like think of it like a shortcut to have someone like Alex as a mentor who can actually watch what have you been doing wrong and give you like a course correction. It's gonna save you many years in your dating life. So if you have the money and time, you should definitely go with Alex. It's a time saver and it gives good results based on your situation. So,
oh, cool! Thank you so much.
Pleasure, guys.
That sounds great, and it's true. I mean, I've been in this for 8 years now. I mean, that's what people forget. Like, I'm young, but I've been doing full-time seduction for 8 years. And I had amazing mentors around me basically 80% of that time. So of course, I first of all put in a lot of hours, and I was in the right environment to get to the level where I am. So doing it by yourself, is it possible? Yes, I agree. But damn, it's just so much harder to do it by yourself, especially if you also focus on a career, also want to move countries, and also trying to make money, and also have family life, and, you know, trying to be fit and da-da-da. It's like, mentors are good. I mean, I have mentors for everything. What are you excited about now? You just told me you may be moving to Budapest. Tell me a little bit about what's in the future now for you.
So I'm super looking forward to moving to Budapest and to have a second base here, so I can travel to other European countries and hopefully get to hang out with different European girls from different cities. And I only find a girl that I can have a long-term quality relationship with. So
So now you want to have some fun, and then you want to lock someone down.
Exactly, and I think it's a fair game because I was not in control of like when I was in a long-term relationship. And I think by to be able to have the power to choose and finally be able to make the final decision as to who I want to settle down with, it's a very powerful tool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's I think probably the number one reason I'm doing this job is to help guys to eventually make the right decision, right? Because we all want to settle down, I think, eventually. You know, of course, everybody has their Playboy phase. I have my Playboy phase times 10. I like the Playboy lifestyle. But also me, I'm in a monogamous relationship now. And that came out of 4 years of really building abundance, building choice, and then choosing one specific girl out of that choice. And that I want to give to people, because it's just such a better setup for men to choose your partner than having to stick with one because you can't get another one. It leads to so many other problems. You're doing the thing that one friend told me is like having fun until the one. So, that's a good strategy. All right. Anything else you want to share before we wrap it up?
No, I think just like keep doing whatever you're doing, like making big changes in other guys' lives. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, bro.